Welcome back to Computer Science Cafe. In this video we're going to have a look at using lists, otherwise known as arrays, in Python. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and feel free to visit the website and you can get this code for free. Okay, a quick introduction to lists. Now, lists are very similar to variables, except we can store more values in them. So, for example, I can create a list in the same way as I create a variable by giving it a name, and the same rules apply to list names as do variable names. And also here I'm keeping the same style. So, for example, the last word starts with a capital. Now, you may be using the underscore method, entirely up to you, but try to keep it consistent. Okay, so my list, I can call it anything I want. My list is a sensible name. And then to create a list, it is square brackets, open square brackets, close square brackets. Now, this now is an empty list, and it is very popular in Python to create empty lists, ready to populate later. In this one, I will populate with some random items. So let's say watch, let's say book. Oops. Okay, so I have two strings in this list now. Watch is in list index number 0 and book in list index number 1. If we remember, computers start counting at 0, so that is why. Here I'm going to put an integer in. Now Python will know this is an integer because it's not in speech marks. I could, for example, put a number in strings in speech marks, but then Python sees it as a string. And let's put one more item in this list. Let's have a phone. Okay, so this list now has 5 items starting from index 0 to index 4. The same way as we print variables, we can print the list. So print my list and run just to check this works. Okay, and we can see here that that prints as we can see on the screen. Now we can print any element of the list we want. So for example, I could say print my list index position 0, which will print the first item in the list, which is watch. Cool. Okay, or I could, for example, print an array of elements. So from 1 to 3, for example. So book is item number, index number 1. 3543 is in index number 3. However, you'll see it prints 1, 2, 3, excluding 3. So it's actually only printing 1 and 2. I could print out of the end of the array of the list, so even though there's not 7 items, I can actually say print 1 to 7, and at this point we won't come up with an error. However, later on, if you try some of the methods we use to push Python out of the end of the list of the array, it will either crash your program or at least come up with an error or problem. So now you know how to create lists, you know about the list index numbers. In the next video, we'll have a look at manipulating the lists, so adding to the list, deleting items, and searching for items. I hope you found this video useful. Please visit the website for more help and information, and please like and subscribe.